Welcome to MogulCast, where we uncover the stories behind the world's greatest business empires. Let's get into today's story.
Long before he became Silicon Valley's most connected billionaire with a net worth over $2 billion, Reid Hoffman was completely stranded. In the late 90s, his very first venture collapsed into a disastrous failure, leaving him with a crushed idea and a fractured board. Most founders would have walked away from tech forever after a humiliation like that. Instead, Hoffman took his bitter lessons directly into PayPal and LinkedIn. This is the full story, and it is worse than you think. Born in Palo Alto in 1967, Reid Hoffman was educated at Stanford and Oxford, earning a degree in philosophy before entering the tech industry. In 1994, he joined Apple Computer, working on eWorld, an early online service attempt that AOL later acquired in 1996. Hoffman quickly realized that software was about human connection, not just raw code. He resolved to launch his own internet venture to prove it. We will come back to one specific decision. It is the key to everything. In 1997, Hoffman co-founded SocialNet.com, an ambitious platform designed for online dating and matching people with similar interests, like local golf partners. It was years ahead of its time, but Hoffman lacked real operational experience. He focused heavily on product features while ignoring distribution strategies. The company struggled to gain traction, and internal tension with investors forced Hoffman out. His inaugural attempt at building an empire had burned out, teaching him a devastating lesson about timing and network effects. Refusing to quit, Hoffman joined the founding team of PayPal as chief operating officer in 1999. PayPal was in a brutal battle for survival, fighting fraud, regulatory hurdles, and massive burn rates. Hoffman became the company's ultimate deal-maker, managing external relationships, banking partners, and regulatory compliance. His strategic maneuvering kept the platform alive long enough to pull off a massive public offering in 2002 before eBay purchased PayPal for over $1 billion. Flush with cash and battle-tested from PayPal, Hoffman launched LinkedIn in December 2002 out of his living room, officially launching the site in May 2003. Unlike SocialNet, LinkedIn focused strictly on professional identity and business networking. Hoffman knew professionals would value a digital resume and professional connections. The platform grew steadily, attracting millions of executives, job seekers, and recruiters across the globe as network effects kicked in. But not everyone was celebrating. Silicon Valley observers doubted whether a social network for work could generate real revenue. Critics assumed users would only log in when looking for a job. But here is what the media completely got wrong about this. Hoffman built a diversified business model with paid subscriptions, recruitment tools, and targeted advertising. LinkedIn became the essential infrastructure for corporate hiring globally, making it far more resilient than consumer social media apps. Hoffman did not just build a company. He transformed himself into Silicon Valley's supreme connector. As a venture capitalist at Greylock Partners and an early investor in top tech startups, his endorsement became the ultimate stamp of approval. By 2011, Hoffman guided LinkedIn through a triumphant initial public offering. The boy who failed with his first startup in 1997 was now running a publicly traded tech giant valued at billions. Running a global network brought unexpected friction and massive technical hurdles. As LinkedIn expanded to hundreds of millions of users, competing platforms tried to slice away its core market. Maintaining user trust, fighting spam, and ensuring privacy presented constant operational crises. Hoffman realized that keeping LinkedIn independent against tech giants like Google and Microsoft required immense scale. The company reached a critical juncture where continuing alone posed immense existential risk. In June 2016, Reid Hoffman faced his biggest decision since founding the company. Microsoft offered to acquire LinkedIn for $26.2 billion in cash. Wall Street was stunned by the massive valuation, while critics warned that corporate bureaucracy at Microsoft would crush LinkedIn's distinct culture. Hoffman had to decide whether to relinquish independence or risk watching his creation get outmaneuvered in the rapidly changing cloud era. Hoffman chose to execute the deal, securing LinkedIn's future while retaining its operational autonomy under Microsoft. The acquisition turned out to be one of the most successful tech integrations in corporate history. LinkedIn flourished, expanding its reach across global markets while multiplying its annual revenues. And if you have made it this far, you already understand something most analysts completely missed. Hoffman proved that true leverage comes from distribution, not just software features. Beyond LinkedIn, Hoffman shaped modern technology through strategic venture capital investments. He co-founded pioneering artificial intelligence enterprises like Inflection AI and Manus AI, while backing early-stage innovators through Village Global. His published books on personal career strategy became standard reading in business schools worldwide. Hoffman transformed from a failed startup founder into Silicon Valley's premier kingmaker, quietly steering foundational shifts across online social networks, enterprise software, and consumer tech platforms. Hoffman expanded his influence into high-stakes philanthropy and political discourse over the following years. Joining elite organizations like the Council on Foreign Relations and attending global policy summits, he leveraged his personal fortune to support democratic institutions. Forbes estimated his net worth at roughly $2.7 billion by May 2026. His unique path demonstrated that early failure, when analyzed correctly, provides the precise roadmap required to build timeless tech empires. Remember that decision we mentioned at the start? Here is what it actually cost. Hoffman's refusal to focus on user distribution at SocialNet cost him his first company and years of hard effort. But that exact failure forced him to master growth tactics at PayPal and build LinkedIn's viral onboarding engines. Without that initial 1997 disaster, Hoffman would never have unlocked the viral principles that created a multi-billion-dollar network. The numbers define Reid Hoffman's extraordinary trajectory. In 1997, his first startup SocialNet collapsed. By 2002, PayPal sold to eBay for over $1 billion. In 2016, Microsoft bought LinkedIn for $26.2 billion. Through early venture investments and visionary founding roles, Hoffman amassed a personal net worth estimated at $2.7 billion by May 2026, establishing himself as Silicon Valley's ultimate central node across tech. The essential insight from Reid Hoffman's journey is counterintuitive. Great products do not win on technical perfection alone. They win through distribution networks and strategic relationships. While most founders spend years refining hidden features, Hoffman proved that connecting real people around aligned economic incentives creates defensible monopolies. Failure at the beginning is not a permanent dead end, but necessary leverage for your next massive enterprise breakthrough. Reid Hoffman turned a devastating initial failure into one of the most dominant tech networks in modern business history. His journey proves that single setbacks are merely stepping stones toward multi-billion-dollar triumphs when you master the rules of scale. If you want to understand how this pattern repeats across every major business collapse, the next video covers a story with disturbing parallels. That one is next.
That's the story for today on MogulCast. If you found this valuable, subscribe and hit the bell. A new empire story drops every single weekday. See you tomorrow.